welcome to the And I Thought podcast. It might become a writer's class podcast. So welcome to the writer's class podcast. And yes, I'm going to keep both of them in there because you know how I do. If I say it, it has to be right. It's the narcissist in me.
I love
This
it.
is what happens when you have 4 podcasts. It's hard to keep them straight. Yeah, you can't. Oh, you know what? I have never, ever told you guys what the other podcasts are. Oh, I'm going to take this opportunity to do that. So we have Meet Hollywood Monday, the Ladies' Tale podcast, the And I Thought podcast, and the Writings Class. There's also the Author Reality podcast, and then we sponsor 2 other ones. So there's like 6 in total. But who wants to hear all 6 when there's 4 with me involved? Narcissism yet again. That's 2. If I 3, I get to I'm out of here. So let me just keep my bragging to a limited amount because I still got to tell you I wrote books. Oh, there. And I thought divorce was bad. And I thought being grown up was easy. If only our me, our memoir in verse, Foreign Coffee, Widow's Web, and Widow's Debt. If you're recognizing, those are 6 books. And those are just the audiobooks. So you can get those wherever audiobooks are sold. So if you want to see the rest of our 17 books, you can go to www.andithoughladies.com and see the rest of our 17 books along with everything else that we do. Actually, we have a new website now that's cuter and cooler and has more of our stuff that we do and some of our dirt. But you know what's great is I never tell you where it is. So you got to dig it for on your own. Ha 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 ha. All right, this is not about me. This whole thing is not about me, although, I could go a good 35, 40 minutes just talking about me. One time we had a 2-hour podcast, did not stop talking about me. I enjoyed it. It was very clearly to the soul. But this one ain't about me. This is about our wonderful guest. Wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, everyone. My name is Angel Marie, and I am so honored to be here with your beautiful, wonderful host today. Okay, so my name again is Angel Marie. I am a publisher of Scribal House Publishing. I am also the co-author of For Writers Who Dream, the second half of the book. I am the creative nonfiction writer for the book. And I also have a podcast, which is called Scribal House Podcast, which is actually a revelatory prophetic podcast. I teach people how to maneuver their spiritual walk with God. And yes, again, I'm just so excited to be here. I am a published author of 4 books and 2 journals also. So I'm just excited to be here with your beautiful guests to discuss our brand new book. And yeah.
Okay, I'm loving this introduction. She gave me so much. She was like, there are 4 books, 2 journals, that's a podcast. And my narcissist self, that's 3. But actually, it doesn't count during the interview. I did 2 during that, so we're starting over again. New card.
Okay.
Again. So it doesn't count during the interview.
Okay.
I gotta ask, do you have guests on this podcast?
You know what? I've never had guests. I've never had a guest. Never.
Okay. I really should not be interested in this, but how on earth do you find topics to talk about?
Okay. Honestly, so when I say prophetic revelatory, I mean it. Literally, I could have a moment right now, something to happen, I'd be like, okay, God, you were talking to me. And that will be a topic. Literally. My daughter can say something and it'll trigger like a memory or a scripture. And I'm like, okay, God, you were talking to me. And I literally would just revelatory insight and just allow God to speak through me, and allow the scriptures to come forward that aligns with what the Lord has taught me. So literally, it's just a daily thing. Since it's my lifestyle, it's just a daily thing. So I never sit down and plan. I'm not that deep, okay? So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this today. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of envious of people that plan real strategically. I'm like, oh, I want to be like you, girl, when I grow up. I want that in my life. But that's just how I am. I'm really free flowing and okay. But yeah, that's how I get my topics. Can I ask a question?
No, I completely and totally agree. This is a great way to do your topics. When we first started off this podcast, it was just like, we're going to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
Conversation once a week.
Yeah.
So, and then I started talking. I was like, do I want to do all this talking? No.
Right. No, I
I
know.
want to hear other people's wisdom because, I know my wisdom.
Yeah.
I want to know other people's wisdom. And this is a great way to learn.
It is. I want to grow. I don't want to be stuck. So it's like, me listening to you and feeding off your energy. I'm like, yes, girl, yes. I'm like, look, I found someone else like me a little bit with that energy. So I love it. Oh, okay, look, question,
You're
right?
learning from the best person ever. You're learning from the person with all wisdom.
Oh, I love it. See, that's what I need. I need more wisdom. I want to grow. I want to help more people. I want to serve more people. So, yes, girl, I see your value. I see your
Well,
value.
I wasn't talking about me. You said you were talking about God. Oh, good gracious. I'm not
Oh,
that narcissistic girl.
your
Woo!
value
Even my narcissism has bounds.
too. I like your energy too. So that's what I mean. Yeah. So it's yeah, I love it. It's pretty good because again, I think when I started out in 2023 in November. I was crazy. Like I got a plan and I'm trying to make sure I'm speaking a certain way. And I just got far from the message. And the message was just not messaging. Okay. And I'm like, God, I gotta stop this, Lord. This is not working out. And I just felt God tell me, like, girl, like no, you're trying to be something. You're trying to not do what I'm telling you to do. So it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, God. I repent. Okay, God, what you want to say to the people? And boom, and honestly, the times when that's when I have my most powerful episodes for real, So it's been cute. It's been cute because I love to talk. So it's like, yeah, and teach. So it's been really good. So I'm excited about it. Yes.
Someone who loves to talk and teach and is good at words, is a good orator, must be great at writing.
I
You
love it.
have 4 books. Can you tell us a bit about the books?
Yeah, so with my 4 books, again, they're all focused around inspirational and faith and scripture writing, and honestly, just getting believers just excited about God and getting people excited about their walk with the Lord and helping people to understand that it is like God has good things for us, good things planned for us, right? But we have to know, and the wisdom that I provide is really just to help people maneuver their walk with the Lord. Nothing deep, nothing too meaty. And it's also mixed with my first 2 books is poetry. So it's creative poetry, so which I also love. So I can totally relate to that. So yeah, it's creative poetry, faith-based writing, my first 2 books, and which you all can find on Amazon. And my last 2 books, no, I'm sorry, my last book was a poetry writing. And the book for that was just more just faith-based writing, just with scriptures and things in that nature. But yeah, so honestly, everything that the Lord has me to do, it just really comes from my walk with Him, and I just share it. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I love the fact that you did it in poetry. Was there a choice for that, or did the inspiration just hit you?
It did. Inspiration. I started out one way and it ended up going the next way. And okay, God, these words are rhyming. Okay, God, I see what you're doing. And it just flows. So kind of like going back to that non-planner in me and just allowing the Holy Spirit to just lead and guide me. And there it was. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm sure you can relate when you don't plan for something, well, in some aspects, since you are a planner to some capacity, right? When you read something and you're like, I didn't attend this, but oh my gosh, this sounds so good, right? I'm sure you can relate to that. So that's kind of how that was for me, which was my last book, which actually made me a bestseller. And I wasn't anticipating it. I was just really proud of the work. Again, it was poetry writing, and it's called Pen and Paper Equals Poetic Prayers for the Weary Soul. So yeah, check it out on Amazon when you get the opportunity. So I think it's a really good book. It's an easy read, but I think it really touches the heart, and it's just a book of prayers. And again, it's not deep, it's not religious, you know what I mean? It's just honest living, because we go through things every day, and people need help. And I'm just that vessel that I'm willing to be, I guess, with all my stuff put out there. You know what I mean? Because people don't want their stuff to be shown, okay? But I'm willing if it's going to help somebody. So, yeah.
Think that's like the greatest part of writing. Also, I hear it often it's the most fearful part of writing is putting your ideas and part of yourself onto a page for other people to read and be available. But I feel like as long as someone is learning something, what does it matter? As long
That's what
as you can stop someone from doing the exact same stupid mistake you
I
did,
know.
it's
Exactly.
worth it.
And I will say for me, as far as writing, I had to let go of that fear of trying to please everyone in my writing. So I even put that inside the book, identifying who your ideal audience is, and just be intentional to write for that one person, because everyone else may not gravitate to your book, and that's okay. If you're writing for that one person who's going to get it, who life may change because of your story, oh, you succeeded. And that's what I slowly had to learn, because I was all for the everybody, and I'm like, this is not for everybody. And I won't lie, it was a little disappointing, because I wanted my work to again touch everyone. So I had to come out of that place where it's like, okay, girl, it's not for everybody, Angel, and it's going to be okay. It's for who it's for. And again, I put that in the book, that once you identify that, you're not going to have to chase people. You're not chasing people. You're going to attract the right people. So yeah.
Exactly. No, I love the point that you just brought out about like knowing your audience. So
Yeah.
it brings me to the question about when you first got started writing, actually, did you think you were going to have 3 books?
Never. Okay. Honestly, when I first wrote my first book, it was something that I always wanted to do, but I thought I had to go the traditional route. You got to send the query letters, until I really discovered self-publishing. I thought it was just something I just need to get out of me. Like, I just want to write, but never with the thought process of I'm going to be a writer. Like, it was just limited. I want to write a book, but I realized that the desire was just in me to continue to write, and it just grew from that point on. But no, it was never in my heart, I'm going to be a consistent writer and I'm going to publish 3 additional books. So honestly, I just was as surprised as the people, like, oh wow. I'm like, girl, I'm saying oh wow too, because I didn't anticipate it. But it worked out beautifully, though, when I guess let go of, like, okay, that it should be this way, be that way. And I talked to Winnie about that a little bit, when you were trying to be religious in something instead of just flowing. So I think when I just started to flow, it just allowed me to create my best self. And it just worked better for me that way. But no, to answer that, no, never thought it. Never thought it.
And
Mm-mm.
there's a quote attributed to Albert Einstein that says that creativity is genius at play. And I
Mhm.
think it's kind of funny because people like, we plan, and I was like, who planned as a child, who ran around really planning out their play? I mean, there are some kids that plan out their play like this point
For
and
sure.
this point, but there are most kids are just like, and I'm here and
Yeah.
we're gonna play.
Right.
And I was like,
Okay.
finding our flow, finding that letting ourselves show up on our genius playground and be like,
I
let's see
love.
where this goes.
Yeah, I love
We
that.
end up
Our
with,
yes,
we end
playground.
up with 3 books instead of 1.
I know, right? I know. And you know what was interesting for me, because around me in my little community of people, it was no other. Well, I had one person who was a writer, my best friend, but I didn't communicate with her a lot. We didn't talk about writing a lot. So to me, I was by myself trying to create, going through a whole publishing process that I didn't know what I was doing. So it was interesting. The journey was very interesting. What me and Wendy call it, I still came from the trenches, because girl, I didn't know what I was doing. Oh gosh, it was a beautiful disaster. I will say it was a beautiful disaster. I'm still proud of it. But looking back, I'm like, girl, what? Girl, you repeating things. Your punctuation was horrible. I just try to give myself grace and mercy. That's all. That's all. But yeah, it's very profound, because like you said, that genius playground. Um, I'm glad that I went that route, that I just allowed myself and not to feel hindered, because I always thought that 'cause that's why I honor what you said, as far as, you got all your degrees, which is amazing. I wanted to be that type of, like, oh, I'm gonna be in school all the time. Ooh, I love that. But, I've been in school a lot. And I'm like, well, school cool, but I feel too constricted. I can't explain it. I feel like I'm in a box. So I think when I write, I feel free. And I need that. I need to feel free. So I'm sure you understand about that free. And that's why you got so many podcasts, because you love your creativity. You love feeling free too. You love feeling free too. So you understand what I'm saying. But yes, I love it. Like the creative, the genius playground, just to create.
Oh, I'm not exactly the person who plays by the rule. I'm gonna say like the whole creative genius little player and going outside of the lines and stuff for school. When I
Yeah.
was in kindergarten, the teacher always told me I had to color inside the lines, and I was very upset about that. So then I just got a black marker out and I drew the lines I wanted to draw, and then I colored in them also.
Oh man. Oh,
Because
oh,
it is inside the lines. It's just inside my lines.
oh, and you was in kindergarten thinking like,
Yeah.
ooh, look, ooh, okay, girl, that's creative. Look, that's what you call creative right there. I would have never thought, look, at 5, I would never thought to do that. Like, oh, I gotta color in these lines, okay. But that's good. Like, right?
Yeah. I mean, because like you often get a picture and that's not what I felt like drawing that day.
Yeah.
That's not what I felt like coloring that day.
So true. You know what's interesting? A really quick story. A similar situation happened to my daughter, who is 7, right? So her teacher told her that she needs to color in the lines. So my daughter's like, okay, I'm going to color in the lines. And what she did was she took, because it was one of those color by, no, it was just different boxes they wanted you to color. You know, obviously, they had a whole bunch of different boxes. So she said, color in the line. So one day I was like, okay, she took her pencil, her crayon, and literally just colored. Her teacher got mad and said, you're supposed to color in the line. And she's like, I did. She's like, no, you just colored. And to me, I'm like, no, you're not coming for my child. Because my child, she still colored in the line, but she didn't color the way you wanted to color. Does that mean it's wrong? No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? So it's
instructions.
Right.
Because I am inside. You didn't tell me which line.
Come on. And you didn't tell me which color. She got mad at her about the color because she chose one. Okay. See, I can go on and on, but see, because I see how people try to restrict and limit creativity. I don't like that. Exactly. That's why I'm like, oh, I love what you just said you did. Like, so, girl, your genius was happening at 5 years old. It was already cooking. That genius in you was cooking. So it's like, yes, thank you, God, that you let it cook and you didn't put it to the side. Like, oh, forget it. What if you would have put it to the side? You wouldn't even have 4.
There was something that I heard when I was 7 years old, and I promise I'm not going to talk about me after this. Just let you keep
Okay,
talking.
no, it's okay. We talking.
Something that I heard when I was 7 years old, and they were like, because I was writing, and they were like, "Oh, you're a good writer now, but as you grow up, everyone loses so much creativity that they don't. There are just a few of us who are actually going to be writers and novelists.
Yeah.
This is your greatest peak of creativity." And I was like, "I'll never let that happen to me. I don't care how old I am. I will always find time to be creative.
I love it. Yes,
It
absolutely.
will never ever die." And then like think about it. Like when I was in high school, I thought about the fact that they give you problems, and one of the things that they were always looking for is someone who thinks about the problem in a different way to
Oh,
solve it. And if you kill that creativity, well, then obviously there's going to be no one who thinks about it in a different way.
this is so good. So, oh, let me tell you one thing about that. Same thing happened to my daughter. She got the right answer, but they didn't like the fact that she came up with that correct answer in a different method that you showed them. And it's like, what? The control, right? The control, the constraint is just so insane and bizarre, and if you let them, like you said, you would just be like everybody else. And that's not what we want. I don't want that. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for my children. Like, no, we're gonna be creative out here. Okay. We're gonna be who God designed us to be, and that's creative.
I mean, it's the age of information, and if you're not creative with what you already know, I mean, at some point, AI will come get what everybody else know because you teaching it. So you better be creative with what you know.
Oh, you better be. What you say? You better be. Okay. No, that's the truth. That's true.
Now we're gonna get back on subject. You see what I said that like before we started, I said this interview might be 10 to 17 minutes long, but we often get off subject, and voila.
Yeah, and voila, we talking, but we get back in line.
I'm gonna get back on subject a little bit. You have made a creative turn from inspiration to a book on writing. Oh my goodness, talk about opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
How did that go? Did you have to like change the way you see things or the way you write?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's so interesting. Yeah, because first of all, I do love research. I guess per my love for research, like a scripture. So it's in me already. But I won't lie. I totally, and like I said, I expressed this with Winnie. I did struggle a tad bit because it was so different for me. But it's interesting. It honestly, it just was flowing out. And I think it flowed out more when I kind of had to set aside that, okay, Angel, this is a how-to book. You're teaching people as opposed to you just, you know, yeah, the different, it not being structured, not being inspirational. But I will say the good thing about it is that people still get that side of me in the book. People still get that inspirational, encouraging, because as you can relate, us writers, we need that inspiration. We need that encouragement to keep going because so many days and night we want to quit. So I bring that along the journey on this book, right? As I'm guiding, as I'm teaching you how to write a book, how to create the characters, how to create the plot, the scenery. So I'm still encouraging the writer, like, hey, you got this. Use your five senses. You know what I mean? To make it, I'm still motivating you because that's who I am, encouraging you. But I'm a boom, boom, boom. We're gonna 1, 2, 3 it. We're gonna bullet it right now. As opposed to just encouraging, we're gonna bullet that thing and you're gonna understand with ease. And yeah, but I will say initially it was a bit of a challenge for me to sway away from that just inspirational writing into a structural writing. It was a little bit of a challenge because my brain was just wired. I'm going to encourage, I'm going to inspire. But again, I got to do it, but just in a different way. So it worked out really good. And I'm really, and not to boast, look, I'm not boast, I'm not, narcissist, nothing like that. But I'm very proud of this baby. And I told Winnie, I said, Winnie, this is a winner. Like, this is really a winner for writers that are really interested in becoming the best writer that they can be. And they are really getting amazing authors and writers that are strategically aligned for them. But um, it was a bit of a challenge, but I think that the audience, that the reader will appreciate it a lot. So yeah, but it was a challenge, but I survived.
But now you have a whole nother skill set. So now
That's
you have a whole other playground now to go play on whenever you do something. You're like,
okay.
woohoo,
I
new playground,
This is
new
so true.
guy.
Yeah, you're so right. I get to look at it like that. And, Winnie, she allowed me, on her platform to teach a class on the plot and from the book. So that was amazing. And I just was like, wow, this is so much fun. But yeah, it totally worked out. It totally worked out.
What do you have planned for yourself next? Or what do you think is, and then what do you think is next?
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
yeah.
first off, what do you have planned? And then what do you think might happen next?
Okay, so what I'm thinking next, I'm thinking of creating like not a journal, but something for the moms, right? Again, more of like creative short stories for mothers. Just us moms, we need encouragement. We need that motivation when we just want to give up and just throw everybody in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted women, moms to be encouraged, but be encouraged by the Lord that God got us. And so I'm thinking about creating again little short, cute stories, but that have a deep message rooted in the story. I want every story to be different. Per the mom, just to, have encouragement. But that's something I'm thinking about. And I'm thinking about what type of another podcast, maybe something for children. I have well, I shouldn't say obviously. I was going to say I have a love for children, but you know what? How many moms that got kids, but they ain't got no love for children? I'm having too much fun. I'm having too much fun. Cause let's be real. How many mamas right now? You could probably call them up and be like, "Girl, you love your children, and girl, they don't care 2 cents about them kids. They don't care 2 cents, but I really care." I really care about the children. So I don't know. I'm thinking something about the children, just help. I don't know. So yeah, I'm just my creative, like you said, this creative playground, always thinking, and sometimes I get overwhelmed by creativity. I do sometimes. I want to do so many things. And then at that point, I just need to sit down and have a latte. That's how you do it. You have a caramel latte and you just sit there because I don't do drugs, nothing like that. So it's like, you sit down, you have that latte, you're real hot. You gotta be real hot. And
Burn your tongue hot. Oh,
yes,
yeah,
okay.
that's perfect.
Okay, that latte in that journal, girl, you just right. Like, okay, that's what I'm about to do. That's what we about to do. Okay. I'm not arguing with that. Okay. So yeah, that's what I have to do sometimes. Seriously. So because it's like decisions. And I don't know.
I think I'm gonna put in another anecdote about me, but a lot of times people ask us how do we get done everything that we got done while I was going to school. So we were on tour for 26 weeks out of the year
Okay.
while I was in school, while
Um,
writing 17 books. Um,
what?
Yeah. And I ran other businesses while I did that. So
This is in real
anyway,
life. This is
yeah.
real life.
Huh?
It's real life.
Yeah. So it was interesting, and everyone goes, "Well, how did you do everything? How did you get everything set up?" And I
Mhm,
like you come up with an idea, and then you ask yourself a few questions,
mhm,
and then you figure out the logistics of how it's going to go and how you're going to get people to sign up and where you're going to market, and then
mhm,
you put that idea on a calendar on a block of time where you know you have time to do it, and then you give
mhm.
yourself about 14 days to a month to
Okay.
set it up, and then you hit the PR tour. So during that whole time you're figuring out your PR tour, you hit the
Yeah.
PR tour, and then you get the people. And I was like, but you see, the thing is, like, your brain is always working. So it's always coming up with ideas. All you have to do is be like, all right, can I do this? Put it in
Mhm.
your calendar how you're going to do it. And you be like, this is the time that I have free. So it gets done right here.
Exactly. That's true.
So
That's
that
true.
way you're never really overwhelmed. You just know like this next idea is coming up in like 2 months.
Exactly.
And the
See,
next idea after that will be up in August, you know, or in July. And there you go. So you're like, yay. And then you like as if you're while you're doing your other stuff, you're like, hey, you're telling people, yo, so in July, this thing is happening,
I
right?
know. Okay, okay, quick question. Okay, oh my gosh, this is so good because I used to feel crazy when I operated like that. Like, okay, I'm doing this right now, then after that, I'm doing that. I used to feel like that was a crazy, like the crazy girl in me, but I realized it's just the creative side. So let me ask you, did you think that like you was crazy for acting like for doing that at first? Like, did you ever have that thought? Like,
You were
oh,
asking the girl who sat down and was like, now, hey, how do I make this work where because I used to have when I came home from school, I took 2 hours to think about
okay,
problems that adults have put in front of me that I did not like.
okay, okay.
So you're asking the girl that was like, how do I make this line thing work for
Yeah,
me?
okay. I get
No, I never felt crazy.
okay, duh. Why would I
It's
even
like it's got to work for me. I just don't know how yet.
right? Right. Why would I act? I mean, girl, you got 17. Like, you was writing 17 books. Like, of course it worked for you. What? That's amazing.
Got to figure out how it works for me. And then the moment I figure it out, well, then now we're good. Let's move
Yeah.
on with life.
Oh my gosh. Dang. That is amazing.
I also don't have kids. So maybe that's why it works so well.
It's true. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be like that, when I grow up. One day. I'm a woo.
But the big secret was I only got 4 to 6 hours of sleep for like multiple years, for
Oh
about
my
4 years. I
gosh.
did not
Oh, man.
sleep
Oh
and
man.
got done.
Dang. Were you mean when you didn't get sleep? No? Okay.
My was I tired? Was my body tired? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because when well, for me, when I get tired, I'm just cranky. I'm irritated. Like, just leave me alone. Like, but that's good. You wasn't like that.
That's Jade. If she's not getting a full 8, don't
Okay.
don't
Don't
don't.
talk.
Like when we
Yeah.
were on tour, I was like, I have to plan a full 8 for her. Otherwise, she shows up to interviews like, touch me.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Let's see. Touch me and see what happened. Oh,
Hmm.
yes, let her get
Like, no, no, she gets a full 8. I'll be up.
we know what we need. We know what we have need of. Let's not even play with ourselves.
Yep,
That's good to
exactly.
know. That's good to know. That's good to know.
I think everyone tells me once you get older that that whole sleep thing is important. So I'm starting to plan for my sleep.
I know, no, it is. Like, I just be tired. I be exhausted. It's the 3 kids. Like, I just be tired, but I just be like, okay, well, it's like that. You got to keep on going, though. You got to keep on going. But yeah, sometimes I do.
And because you kept on going, you now have 4 books.
Yeah, oh my gosh, seriously, I'm so excited. Like this, oh, man. Like I said, I don't want to boast. I don't want to boast, but it is amazing. It's an amazing book, and I've been lately been reading the reviews on Amazon, and oh my gosh, my heart just was so happy. And to read authentic reviews. Of course you want to read good reviews, but then you can also appreciate the not so good ones as well. But thus far, all the reviews have really been positive, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And in certain things people have said about the creative nonfiction part, I'm just like, look, I'm saying to myself, oh, you really like that part? Okay. Like maybe certain parts I probably hesitated to write, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put it in there. And people have been like, no, it worked. I'm like, yes, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm good to hear that. So just to know that the book really is really helping people, it's really feeding people, it's really registering with people. man, and if it was just one, seriously, if it was just one, that's okay. Because especially with this being our first structural book, it's like, wow, that was amazing. Yeah. So it's just a proud moment. It really is. I'm humbled. I really am.
So two questions. One
Okay.
question, number one, what three things would you tell people who are getting started on like their first book and they're looking at a series, looking at maybe two, three, four books out? Uh,
Yeah.
what are the three things that you would tell them? And then the second one is, where do we buy the four books?
Okay, okay, of course. Okay. What are three things I would tell people? And I know it's gonna sound so hard. I know it is. And people are gonna be like, girl, but I'm so serious. I would just say, just get started. Just start writing. And like, people make excuses. Sometimes their excuses with procrastination. It's a lot of things involved, why people just don't write. But I will honestly say, just start. If you gotta start on a bus, if you got to start just eating your dinner, just get that piece of paper and just start writing. We're not looking, people are not looking for perfection. People are looking for authenticity. Okay. So that's my second point. Be authentic. Be you. Be the writer that's brewing inside of you. We already read books from other, writers, fiction or nonfiction, poets, and etc. We want to see what you have inside of you, the creativity that's flowing inside of you. So I would say just start writing, be authentic, and this is another one. People be like, how can I have fun? This is driving me crazy. But I would say have fun. Because looking back on my personal journey, I was crazy because I wanted to produce so much. I wanted to produce this good book and it drove me crazy. So I would just say, just really try to enjoy your writing. And if you can get to that place, that's going to really take so much pressure off. And that's going to really allow you to just really just calm down. First of all, maybe that's a fourth thing. Look, four things. Calm down. Look, calm down. But yeah, just start writing. Be authentic. Be who you really are. No phonies, because people can tell when you're not real. Like, Bologna, you real. I see you real, and I think you can see this is real. We being authentic. It's no fakeness. We're being ourselves. So just start writing. Be authentic. Enjoy it. And bonus, just calm down. Because your book is going to be who it's for. Your book is going to attract who it's for. Your readers are going to be attracted to you because they're going to resonate with you with what you're talking about, what you're writing about, and where you can find the book on Amazon. And then, well, yes, you can find the books on Amazon, and you can also go to Wins Publishing for writers who dream. But for my other for books, you can go to Amazon, and it'll be under Angel M. Walker or Angel M. Atkins. I hope y'all got that. Angel M. Walker or Angel M. Atkins. But yeah, but for writers who dream, definitely Angel Marie and Winifred. So I always mispronounce her last name. So I'm not gonna play her. I love Winnie too much. I will not play Winnie like that to mispronounce her last name. But yes, on Amazon or on Wins Books, excuse me.com. So yes. Oh my goodness. They're gonna love it.
And please go check out those books. Be inspired. And if you are having trouble writing, I think you should pick up that book as well. So, like, when she inspires you to get your life together, write about it because she told you how to write about it too. There you go,
Yes.
y'all.
Send me an email. Send me an email. I want to write about how the book, how you got your life together, girl.
Oh
Organized.
my goodness, right? Oh, so since she's wrapped up over there, I'm gonna wrap it up for us over here. And I said us because there's normally a Jade around here somewhere. I think it's been about a year since she's done this, but whatever. She'll be back soon
Please.
enough. Um,
Yeah. That's what's
So I'm
important.
Mona. I'm one of the Anti-Thought Ladies. You can find out everything that your ladies are up to at www.antithoughladies.com. If you happen to find that secret site where we have everything else up there, then feel free to look at that one too. You go down to the bottom of the page of antithoughladies.com and you can see the three charities that we proudly support. I'd like you to know that this year the Inspirational Women in Literature, Media, and Journalism Awards are supporting them as well. That's our annual fundraising events for those three charities. It's happening in June, so you can support us by supporting that as well. But if you can't, you can give money. You can always get your hands dirty by getting involved, or you can give a little information or wisdom towards those groups because sometimes there's a little spot where they need some more information and volunteers to help out. Maybe you're one of those people. If all else fails, money helps. We thank you in advance for assisting them as well. And remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona and the Missing Jade. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.